Ever walked into a supplement store and felt overwhelmed by the wall of powders and pills? I know the feeling. I used to be that person. As a natural lifter, I've tried just about everything on the market. Of course, no banned substances, just the legit stuff. In this video, I will be ranking the most popular fitness supplements using this tier list. S-ranked will be the best of the best, while D-tier ones will represent the trash section. I will be talking about muscle builders, fat burners, recovery aids, sleep support, all of it. Each supplement will be ranked based on 3 key factors: effectiveness, safety, and affordability. BCAAs. Those neon-colored drinks beloved by gym bros everywhere. Branched chain amino acids promise muscle recovery in a tasty package. But plot twist, if you're eating enough protein, you probably don't need extra BCAAs. Sure, they can slightly reduce muscle soreness and give you something to sip during workouts, but they won't magically pack on muscle. Why? BCAAs are only 3 of the 9 essential amino acids your body needs for muscle building. It's like trying to bake a cake with only half the ingredients. Research actually shows you get much stronger muscle building response from all 9 essential amino acids or a protein shake. So unless you train fasted or on a low protein diet, which is not recommended, BCAAs alone are C tier. Not useless, but far from necessary. Save the cash for quality protein powder or real food. And don't be fooled by the hype flavor of watermelon ice rocket. We'll get to EAAs in a bit, which is the improved sequel to BCAAs. Pre-workout supplements are basically legal rocket fuel for the gym. Ever taken a scoop and felt like you could wrestle a bear? That's the caffeine, often 200 to 300 milligrams, like 3 cups of coffee plus other goodies like Beta-Alanine, hello tingly skin, and Citrulline giving you crazy pumps. A good pre-workout can boost energy, focus, and performance so you can squeeze out extra reps and feel like a beast. The effectiveness is high. You'll train harder for sure. Safety is generally solid for healthy adults, but watch out for overstimmed formulas that make your heart race or keep you up all night. And affordability? It varies. Some brands are pricey fancy labels and all, but essentially you're paying for caffeine, aminos, and sometimes creatine and vitamins mixed in. Pro tip: if money's tight, you can DIY with coffee, plus add a scoop of creatine. We'll talk creatine soon and beta-alanine. But for convenience and that placebo boost of "I'm ready to crush it," a pre-workout earns A tier. It's effective and fairly safe, just not absolutely essential. Use it for a boost, but remember, you still gotta put in the work. And please, start with a half scoop if you're new. No one wants to see you vibrating off the gym walls. Personally, I can only tolerate small doses, and I only use it when I truly need it. That's exactly what I'd recommend you do as well. Next up is L-Glutamine, an amino acid supplement that was all the rage in the 90s. Bodybuilders took it religiously, hoping for faster recovery and muscle growth. In reality, glutamine is great for your gut and immune system. Hospitals give it to burn victims to speed healing. But for healthy weightlifters, glutamine hasn't shown any significant muscle building benefit. Your body already makes plenty of it, and it's abundant in high-protein foods. Apart from a possible minor benefit in reducing soreness or aiding gut health, you're basically scooping dollars into your shaker for negligible returns. It's safe, no real side effects at normal doses, but effectiveness is next to nil for gains. And affordability is poor if you're paying for something that doesn't do much. So, glutamine lands squarely in D tier. Unless you're dealing with extreme endurance exercise or specific medical situations, you can skip this one. Sorry, glutamine. We'll call you if we ever need help with our intestines or recovery from surgery, but for muscle gains, we'll pass. Time for a superstar, Whey Protein. This is the OG that practically every lifter has in their kitchen. Why is whey so legendary? It's a complete, high-quality protein derived from milk, rich in all the essential amino acids including lots of leucine, the MPS trigger. Whey digests fast, making it perfect for that post-workout shake to flood your muscles with nutrients. In terms of effectiveness, whey is top-notch for building and repairing muscle. Countless studies show that adding whey protein helps increase muscle mass and strength when combined with training. Safety. It's safe for almost everyone unless you're allergic to dairy or lactose intolerant, in which case isolate or non-dairy protein might be better. You might get a little bloated with cheap concentrate if you're sensitive, but otherwise it's basically food. Affordability? Very good. Whey gives you a lot of protein per dollar compared to, say, eating a steak every time. A huge 5-pound tub can last weeks and often costs less per serving than a fast food chicken sandwich and has way more protein. Whey also mixes easily and comes in tasty flavors, so it's super convenient to hit your protein goal. In short, Whey protein is every lifter's loyal sidekick. It's S tier because it flat out works. It's safe and reasonably cheap. Whether you're trying to gain muscle or lose fat, Whey has your back. If you only get one supplement from this whole list, Whey is a top contender, but I also have one more for this category coming up shortly. Picture this. It's 10 p.m., you crushed a workout earlier, and you're about to sleep, but you worry your muscles might get hungry overnight. Casein protein to the rescue. Casein, the other milk protein, digests much more slowly. It forms a gel in your stomach, releasing amino acids over several hours. The result? A trickle of protein all night long, like an IV drip of gains. Casein is great for preserving muscle and promoting recovery, especially during long periods without food. Studies show taking casein at night can improve muscle protein balance and might lead to better gains over time. Complementing Whey. It's not better than Whey, just different. Think of Whey as the fast-acting sprinter and casein as the marathon runner of proteins. Safety. Also very safe unless you have dairy issues. It's literally the protein in cottage cheese. Affordability? Typically a bit pricier than Whey, but still decent. Micellar casein powders mix thicker, often used to make a protein pudding or sludge. Pro tip: mix with a little water or milk and pudding mix for a nighttime treat. I rank casein as A tier. It's not as absolutely essential as Whey, but it's darn useful. If you have the budget, taking casein or eating some Greek yogurt/cottage cheese before bed can give your muscles extra sustained nutrition. Slow and steady wins the race, or at least recovers better by morning. Not consuming dairy or animal products? No worries. Plant-based protein powders have got you covered. These include soy protein, pea protein, rice protein, hemp protein, and various blends. Historically, plant proteins were seen as inferior for muscle building, mainly because some have incomplete amino profiles or less leucine. Soy is actually complete and has decent leucine, and pea is high in BCAAs but low in 1 amino. Newer plant protein blends cleverly mix sources like pea plus rice, for example, to achieve a complete EAA profile comparable to Whey. The result? They can be almost as effective as Whey for muscle growth, if you take enough. You might need a slightly larger scoop since plant powders often have a bit less protein per gram and a tad lower digestibility, but plenty of vegan athletes make great gains on these. Proofs in the plants. Generally very safe as well. Some people worry about soy affecting hormones, but moderate soy protein intake hasn't been shown to lower testosterone in men. That's largely a myth. Pea protein is hypoallergenic and easy on the tummy. Affordability? Plant proteins used to be more expensive, but prices have come down. They're still often a bit pricier than Whey per serving, but if you catch a sale or buy unflavored in bulk, it's not too bad. Given all that, I place plant proteins in the B tier. They're solid options for those who can't or won't use Whey/casein, though slightly less optimal gram for gram. If you're vegan or lactose intolerant, a quality plant protein blend will absolutely help you build muscle. Just aim for a few extra grams of protein to cover the bases. Vegan gains are real. Remember how BCAAs were missing pieces of the puzzle? Essential amino acid supplements are like the upgraded version. They usually contain all 9 essential aminos. Instead of just leucine, isoleucine, valine, you're also getting the other building blocks like lysine, threonine, phenylalanine, etc. In theory, EAAs can stimulate muscle protein synthesis similar to a protein shake, but without the calories or fullness of a whole protein. EAAs do work better than BCAAs for muscle building because you're providing the complete kit your body needs. For someone who, say, trains early fasted or can't stomach a shake during a workout, sipping EAAs could help prevent muscle breakdown and even stimulate some growth. However, if you can just have Whey or a meal within a reasonable time, that's typically superior. EAAs are sort of a niche tool for when eating protein isn't convenient, and it's safe for most. They're just amino acids your body sees as food. They can taste bitter, so flavored versions often have sweeteners. This is where they drop points. EAAs can be pretty expensive per serving, often costing as much or more than a protein shake while giving you less total protein. You're paying for the refinement and convenience. So we put EAAs in Tier B. They're helpful in specific scenarios, like intra-workout for endurance athletes, or for those really chasing optimal MPS timing, and definitely better than BCAAs alone for muscle growth. But for most people, they're not essential, pun intended, if you're hitting your daily protein. Think of EAAs as a luxury or fine-tuning supplement. Useful for some, unnecessary for others. Okay, let's switch gears to general health supplements that every gym rat has probably considered. The trusty multivitamin and its sidekick, vitamin D. They're not muscle builders per se, but they can impact performance and recovery by filling nutritional gaps. If you have a decent diet with fruits, veggies, and whole foods, a multivitamin might not make a noticeable difference. You're probably getting the micronutrients you need. However, many of us aren't perfect with our veggies, and being deficient in things like magnesium, zinc, or B vitamins can hurt your energy and recovery. A multivitamin acts like a little insurance policy, covering any holes in your diet. It won't boost your bench overnight, but it might help you stay healthy and consistent. Vitamin D deserves special mention. It's crucial for bone health, immune function, and optimal testosterone levels in men. If you live in a place with limited sun, supplementing vitamin D is often necessary. Get those levels checked. Adequate vitamin D can improve mood and muscle function. It's generally safe if you stick to RDA amounts. Don't go megadosing random vitamins. More is not always better and can even be harmful. A standard multivitamin and 1,000 to 2,000 IU of D3 a day is reasonable for most. Multis are usually cheap, a few cents per day. Vitamin D is also very inexpensive. Given their role in supporting overall health and indirectly your fitness, you can't train if you're sick or deficient, I give them tier B. Not exciting or hardcore, but quietly important. Pop your multi with breakfast, take your vitamin D in the morning, and you've got your bases covered. Your future self and immune system will thank you. You might have seen CLA on supplement store shelves marked as a fat loss miracle, often with some ripped person on the label. Time for a reality check. Conjugated linoleic acid is basically a modified omega-6 fatty acid. It showed promise in animal studies for reducing body fat, so fitness folks jumped on it. In humans though, the effects are underwhelming. At best, CLA might help very slightly with fat loss. We're talking a modest reduction in fat mass over months. One meta-analysis found roughly 0.1 kg of fat loss per week. That's like a quarter of a pound a month, possibly. Not exactly scorching. And that's in controlled settings. Real-world results vary. Some studies in humans show almost no difference. Here's where CLA concerns me. Some research indicates certain CLA isomers could raise inflammation or insulin resistance in humans. Nothing catastrophic, but unlike fish oil, which reduces inflammation, CLA might have downsides health-wise. Mild side effects like upset stomach are possible too. It's not super expensive, but any money on a mostly ineffective pill is too much, right? For the tiny effect, it's not worth it. Diet and exercise overshadow CLA by miles. We're placing CLA in D tier. It's not a dangerous banned substance or anything, but it's basically a dud for fat loss and could even be counterproductive for health if overused. If you're aiming to get lean, focus on proven methods like calorie deficit, high protein, maybe caffeine or green tea for a small boost. CLA is one fat burner we're comfortable leaving on the shelf. Here's an old school supplement that still pops up in fat burner formulas and in endurance drinks. L-Carnitine. Carnitine is an amino acid-like compound your body uses to transport fat into your cell mitochondria to burn as energy. Sounds like a fat loss dream, right? The idea is more carnitine equals more fat burning. In practice, oral L-Carnitine doesn't do much for young, healthy people with normal levels. It's not a magic fat incinerator. Most studies in athletes show no significant boost in fat loss or performance. The exceptions? Carnitine can help older adults or those deficient. Some research in overweight individuals and older folks show modest weight loss and improved fatty acid oxidation with carnitine supplementation over time. It also might aid exercise recovery slightly and has some benefits for heart health in clinical settings. But if you're a 25-year-old gym goer eating meat, a natural source of carnitine, you likely have plenty in your muscles already. It's quite safe. It's found in foods like red meat. High doses can cause minor side effects like fishy body odor. Weird, I know. And it's fairly affordable. But again, ROI is low for most. We'll rank L-Carnitine tier C. It's not totally useless. Certain populations can see benefits, and endurance athletes might notice less muscle damage or fatigue in some cases. But for the average lifter looking to lose fat or gain muscle, carnitine isn't a game changer. If you're cutting and have spare cash, you could try it, and some folks anecdotally feel it helps with energy. But don't expect miracles. Save your highest hopes for the C tier. Temper those expectations and you won't be disappointed. If supplements had a Hall of Fame, Creatine Monohydrate would be a first ballot inductee. We're talking S tier without a doubt. Creatine is hands down one of the most effective, researched, and proven supplements for boosting performance and muscle growth. Effectiveness. What does it do? Creatine helps your muscles regenerate ATP faster, especially for quick, powerful movements. Translation: with creatine, you can often lift an extra rep or two, sprint a bit faster, and recover better between sets, all of which over time lead to greater strength and muscle gains. People typically gain a couple of pounds initially water drawn into the muscles, but then see faster progress on their lifts. It's not uncommon to hear, "I added 20 pounds to my bench after starting creatine." It won't turn you into the Hulk overnight, but it gives you that 5 to 10% edge that, compounded over months, is huge. Despite myths, creatine is very safe for healthy individuals. It's one of the most studied supplements over decades. No, it's not a steroid. Grandma might see your creatine powder and freak out. Assure her it's basically like concentrated meat juice. And no, it doesn't wreck your kidneys if you use the recommended dose 5 grams a day and stay hydrated. The International Society of Sports Nutrition even calls creatine one of the safest and most beneficial supplements available. Just drink water since it does increase water needs. Creatine is dirt cheap. A kilo of plain monohydrate powder, which lasts many months, can be under $20. Avoid fancy creatine HCl or creatine ethyl ester upsells. Plain monohydrate is the gold standard and works best. Given its high efficacy, great safety profile, and low cost, creatine firmly sits in S tier. If you're training hard, there's a good chance creatine will help you make better gains. Next, let's tackle those fat burner pills that promise to melt inches off your waist. You know the ones with the names like ThermoShred or Hydroxyfire 9000, often containing a kitchen sink of ingredients. The truth is, most fat burners are just glorified caffeine pills with some herbs thrown in. Stimulant-based fat burners do raise your metabolism a bit. Caffeine, green tea extract, yohimabine, and synephrine, these can increase calorie burn slightly and stunt appetite for some people. You might feel hotter and sweat more. That's the thermogenesis. Over a day, you could burn maybe 50 to 100 extra calories, which helps, but won't override a bad diet. They can aid fat loss if you are already eating in a calorie deficit and exercising. Think of them as a mild accelerator on a car that's already moving. However, there's no magic here. You won't go from couch potato to six-pack by popping pills. And the more hardcore ones can cause jitters, anxiety, increased heart rate, and insomnia. So there's a side effect trade-off. For healthy folks, moderate doses are okay, but many people overuse these. If you have any heart issues, high blood pressure, or anxiety problems, avoid stimulants like this. Non-stem fat burners like carnitine, or CLA, which we covered, or cayenne pepper extract are usually safer but largely ineffective. Price varies, but many are pricey for what is mostly caffeine and cheap herbs. Honestly, a cup of coffee and a sensible diet do a similar job. We rank fat burner supplements Tier C. They're not complete scams. You might lose weight slightly faster and feel more energy, which can indirectly help you hit the gym. But they're far from a miracle, and any benefit comes with potential discomfort. If you do use one, start slow and stay hydrated. And remember, burners only work if you do in the gym and kitchen. The real fat-burning MVPs are diet and exercise, with a cameo by caffeine. Speaking of which, ever feel your skin prickle and itch like a million ants crawling under it after a pre-workout? Say hello to Beta-Alanine. That tingling called paresthesia is the signature effect of this amino acid. Beta-Alanine's job to increase carnosine levels in muscles, which helps buffer acid buildup. In plain English, it helps you grind out exercise in the 1 to 4 minute range by reducing that burning fatigue feeling. Effectiveness. Beta-Alanine won't do much for a single 1 rep max, but if you're doing high rep sets, CrossFit WODs, or mid-distance cardio, it can improve endurance and delay fatigue. Studies show a 2 to 3% improvement in performance for efforts lasting a couple of minutes. That might sound small, but it could be the difference between 10 reps and 12 reps, or finishing the last sprint interval a bit stronger. Over time, that can translate into better gains. It also might help reduce exercise-induced fatigue so you feel less wiped out. It's safe. The main issue is the tingles. They're harmless and tend to lessen if you take beta-alanine regularly or in smaller doses. Some people actually like the feeling it kicks in, so you know your pre-workout is working. Others hate it. Splitting the dose or using sustained-release beta-alanine can help. Beta-alanine is pretty cheap on its own, and it's found in most pre-workout powders already. If you're training for something like high-rep hypertrophy or HIIT, adding 3 to 6 grams per day, split doses, for a few weeks can noticeably improve your stamina. We'll place beta-alanine in Tier B. It's beneficial, especially for certain training styles, and very safe, but it's not as universally impactful as the S-tier giants. Think of it as a nice supporting supplement if you want to push fatigue back a bit. Plus, if you enjoy feeling like a tingly hedgehog before you lift, Beta-Alanine's got you covered. Get ready to get pumped. Literally, Citrulline Malate is a beloved pre-workout ingredient for good reason. Citrulline is an amino acid from watermelons that converts into arginine and nitric oxide in the body, boosting blood flow. Malate is from apples, involved in energy production. Together, they form a combo that has been shown to improve training performance. Effectiveness? Citrulline Malate is fantastic for enhancing muscle pumps and endurance. By increasing nitric oxide, it dilates your blood vessels, so more blood and nutrients get to your muscles. That means better pumps during your lift. Hello vascularity, and also can reduce fatigue. One study found taking 8 grams of citrulline malate allowed lifters to do about 50% more repetitions in their later sets of bench press compared to placebo. They also reported significantly less muscle soreness in the days after. That's a big deal. More volume in your training and quicker recovery. Runners and cyclists also use it for stamina. Very safe. The only real side effect at high doses can be mild stomach discomfort for some, but most handle 6 to 8 grams just fine, which is in the effective range. It's moderately priced, but considering its benefits, I'd say it's worth it if you're chasing performance. Some pre-workouts include it. Just check the dose. You want the full clinical dose, not just a sprinkle. We give citrulline malate Tier A. It might not be as foundational as protein or creatine, but for boosting workout quality, it's one of the best. The combination of better pumps, which some believe can help with muscle growth via cell swelling, and nutrient delivery and fatigue resistance make it a winner. And honestly, who doesn't love feeling swole and recovered? Pump up the A tier for citrulline. Sliding into the lineup is Betaine, also known as trimethylglycine, which is found in beets and spinach naturally. It doesn't get as much spotlight as creatine or beta-alanine, but it's been creeping into a lot of performance supplements lately. Betaine has some interesting research suggesting it can help with body composition and performance. A few studies indicated that when combined with training, Betaine supplementation around 2.5 grams a day led to increased muscle mass and decreased body fat compared to placebo. One study in college lifters showed Betaine users gained more lean mass, plus or minus 4 pounds, and lost a bit of fat, whereas the placebo group stayed about the same. Mechanistically, Betaine might improve muscle protein synthesis and creatine production. It donates methyl groups and enhance hydration in cells. There's also evidence it can boost power output, possibly a few extra reps or slight strength increase. Some studies are mixed on strength outcomes though. Betaine is safe. It's actually used as a health supplement for things like heart health and liver function. At higher doses, a few people report a fishy odor and sweat similar to high doses of choline, but 2.5 grams is usually fine. Stay hydrated as Betaine works partly by cell hydration. It's an osmolyte like creatine. Affordability? It's relatively inexpensive as a raw powder. Many pre-workouts now include Betaine. Is Betaine a must-have? Not exactly. It's a nice-to-have. We rank it Tier B. The data on muscle gain and fat loss is enticing, and although not everyone will get dramatic results, it can give you a slight edge. Think of Betaine as a quiet achiever. Not very hyped, but potentially helping you rebuild muscle while losing fat a bit more efficiently. If you're looking to optimize every aspect of your supplement stack, Betaine is worth considering. At worst, you pee out some extra BD nutrients. At best, you get a leaner, stronger you. Not bad for a B tier. Flexibility and longevity count for a lot in fitness. You can't train hard if you're injured or inflamed. Enter omega-3 fish oil, your joint-soothing, heart-loving pal. While fish oil rich in EPA and DHA fatty acids won't directly pump your muscles up, it improves your foundation for training. Omega-3s are potent anti-inflammatories. They help reduce muscle soreness and DOMS, improve joint health, and even enhance the muscle recovery process. For example, studies have shown fish oil can lessen the loss of strength after intense exercise and improve range of motion during recovery. There's also evidence that omega-3s can assist muscle growth, especially in older adults, by making muscle cells more anabolic sensitive, possibly by enhancing mTOR signaling and insulin sensitivity in muscle. In one study, men who took fish oil while dieting actually increased their squat strength despite calorie deficit. Indirectly, by reducing inflammation, fish oil might keep your tendons and joints healthier, meaning you can train consistently with less pain. Very safe for most people. Main side effect is fish burps for some. You can mitigate that by taking it with meals or using enteric-coated capsules. Those on blood thinners or with bleeding disorders should consult a doc, as omega-3s can thin blood slightly. Fairly affordable, especially if you buy in bulk. Quality matters though. Go for a reputable brand. You want it purified and tested for heavy metals, and with a good EPA/DHA content. Considering the broad health benefits for the heart and brain, plus the recovery/joint benefits for athletes, fish oil is tier A. It's not going to directly add 20 pounds to your bench, but it will keep your body in fighting shape so you can keep pushing hard. Think of omega-3s as the oil for your engine. It helps keep things running smooth and efficient. A well-oiled machine will outperform a creaky, inflamed one any day. Let's talk ashwagandha, the ancient herb with a funny name that has stormed the fitness world in recent years. This adaptogen is known for its ability to reduce stress and cortisol. But does it boost gains? The surprising answer? Yes, it can help. Effectiveness. Ashwagandha shines by improving your internal environment for muscle growth. High stress can tank your recovery and even lower testosterone. By taking ashwagandha, many people experience reduced anxiety, better sleep, and lower cortisol levels, which all translate to better recovery. But beyond that, research has directly looked at ashwagandha in muscle. In a notable 8-week study, novice weightlifters taking ashwagandha gained significantly more strength and muscle size than those taking a placebo. We're talking bigger increases in bench press 1-rep max and arm muscle size in the ashwagandha group. They also had a boost in testosterone compared to the placebo group. That's pretty extraordinary for a herb. Even in experienced athletes, it may help strength and power output, possibly via improved recovery or neural effects. Ashwagandha is also commonly reported to improve energy and reduce exercise-induced muscle damage. It's an herb generally well tolerated. The doses used in studies are around 300 to 600 milligrams of high-concentration root extract, often KSM 66 or Sensoril brands. It takes a couple weeks of daily use to really feel effects. Few side effects are reported, but on occasion some people get an upset stomach or drowsiness. Quality matters. Get it from a trusted brand. Moderately priced, not super cheap, but not crazy expensive either. For the potential benefits, better mindset plus better performance, I put ashwagandha in tier A. It's one of the best support supplements out there, especially if you're juggling a lot of stress, and who isn't these days? A calmer you is a stronger you. Think of ashwagandha as helping you train like a Zen warrior, focused, recovered, and ready to crush it without burning out. Time for a reality check on an old legend. Tribulus terrestris. This plant extract was hyped up for years as a natural testosterone booster, the secret behind Eastern European strongmen. According to gym lore, it still finds its way into T-booster supplement formulas today. But does it actually boost your test or gains? Nope, at least not in humans. Despite the marketing, human studies on Tribulus show it does not significantly increase testosterone levels. Researchers have tested Tribulus in men and women, young and old, and found no meaningful rise in testosterone or strength compared to placebo. It may enhance libido. Some evidence suggests Tribulus can increase sexual desire in both men and women who have low libido, but that's a different issue than muscle building. For athletic performance or body composition, Tribulus is a dud. You might as well be taking a sugar pill. Tribulus is relatively safe. It's a plant used in traditional medicine for various things. Minimal side effects at typical doses 500 to 1500 milligrams extract, aside from maybe an upset stomach. So at least it likely won't harm you. It just won't deliver on the muscle or testosterone promises. It's cheap, but any amount is wasted if it doesn't work. We rank Tribulus firmly in D tier. It's basically ineffective for muscle or strength gains. If you're looking to increase testosterone naturally, focus on basics: heavy compound lifting, adequate fat in your diet, enough sleep, and maybe the next herb in our list. Spoiler, a certain long jack that actually has some effect. Tribulus can stay in the 90s with its busted myths. Save your money for supplements that pull their weight. ZMA is a supplement combo of zinc, magnesium aspartate, and vitamin B6. It was marketed heavily to athletes with claims of boosting testosterone and improving strength. The story was that many athletes are deficient in zinc and magnesium, so supplementing would fix that and lead to big anabolic gains. Let's break it down. If you are deficient in zinc or magnesium, taking ZMA will absolutely help your overall health, possibly your testosterone if it was low due to deficiency, and your sleep quality. Magnesium is great for relaxation. However, if you already get enough of these minerals, ZMA won't raise your testosterone above normal levels or directly improve performance. The early study that showed testosterone and strength increases in football players taking ZMA was funded by a patent holder of ZMA. Later, independent studies didn't replicate those dramatic results. That said, many users do report better sleep when taking ZMA at night, likely from the magnesium's calming effect. Better sleep can indirectly help muscle growth and recovery. It's safe as long as you don't megadose it. Stick to the recommended dose often, which is about 30 milligrams of zinc, 450 milligrams of magnesium, and 10 milligrams of B6. Too much zinc can cause nausea or impair copper absorption over time. Take ZMA before bed on an empty stomach for best absorption and vivid dreams, as some attest, and it's fairly cheap. These are basic minerals. Honestly, you could also just take a regular magnesium supplement and ensure your diet has enough zinc, from red meat, poultry, etc., or use a regular multivitamin. We give ZMA Tier C. It's useful for sleep support and covering a possible zinc/magnesium deficit, which can help overall fitness. But it's no magic muscle maker. If you struggle with sleep, ZMA might be worth a try. A good night's sleep is anabolic. Just don't expect it to spike your test levels beyond normal or directly add pounds to your lifts. ZMA is a solid supportive supplement, not a star player. Now let's talk about a trending herb in the testosterone world, Tongkat Ali, also known as Eurycoma longifolia or longjack. This root has been used in Southeast Asia as an aphrodisiac and vitality tonic for ages. And recently it's gotten popular among lifters, especially after some high-profile podcasters sang its praises. Unlike Tribulus, Tongkat Ali actually has some human research behind it. It's not a steroid-level boost, but studies have found improvements in testosterone levels, libido, and stress hormones. In men with low testosterone or high stress, Tongkat Ali supplementation like 200 to 300 milligrams per day significantly increased testosterone. One study showed it brought testosterone back to normal in over 90% of participants after a month. Another research found Tongkat Ali could reduce cortisol by 16% and raise testosterone by 37% in moderately stressed subjects. These are notable changes. So for someone whose T is suppressed by stress, aging, or other factors, Tongkat could help restore it, potentially leading to better energy, mood, and yes, possibly muscle building capacity and fat loss. Even in healthy young men, there's some evidence of improved sperm quality and slight T increases. Beyond hormones, users often reported improved mood, libido, and even sleep. Lower stress can do that. Now, will it turn your 300-pound deadlift into 400? Likely not directly, but if it helps you feel more dialed in and recover better, you might train harder and see better results. It's generally safe in the short term. It's a plant root extract. Standardized, water-extracted Tongkat Ali from reputable sources is important. Some cheap ones might be adulterated. Some people might experience mild insomnia or irritability if the dose is too high. It does have a stimulating, energizing effect for some. Also, because it can raise T, anyone with hormone-sensitive conditions should be cautious. It's a bit pricey compared to basic supplements, but not insane. It's often in the 50 cents to $1 per day range for a good extract. We'll rank Tongkat Ali at Tier B. It's one of the few natural test boosters that show real promise, especially for those who need that boost. If you're young with already great T levels, you won't notice much. But older lifters or high-stress individuals might find Tongkat Ali helps them feel stronger, more vigorous, and more motivated, indirectly supporting their fitness progress. It's a solid herb to consider if optimizing hormones naturally is on your agenda. Time for a new school, natty anabolic that's been making waves. 20-hydroxyecdysone, commonly just called Ecdysterone. If that sounds like a mouthful, just think spinach extract. Yes, the rumor is this compound is part of why Popeye got jacked from spinach. Ecdysterone is a naturally occurring plant steroid found in spinach, quinoa, etc. that isn't androgenic in humans, but might stimulate muscle growth through different pathways, possibly via estrogen beta receptors and protein synthesis. Effectiveness. Recent human research has been surprisingly positive. A 2019 study had athletes take Ecdysterone from spinach extract while training. The results? The Ecdysterone group had significantly greater increase in lean muscle mass and 1-rep max strength, especially bench press, than the placebo group. And that was without any noted side effects or hormonal disruption. In fact, the gains were impressive enough that the researchers suggested Ecdysterone should be considered for the WADA list of performance enhancers. Essentially, it behaved like an anabolic agent without the steroid-like side effects. Anecdotally, many users reported noticeable improvements in muscle fullness, recovery, and strength when taking ecdysterone doses around 500 to 1,000 milligrams of high standardized extract per day. It's often compared to turkesterone, which we'll hit next, but some believe ecdysterone has more concrete evidence behind it. Thus far, studies show no adverse effects on liver, kidneys, or hormones. It didn't show up on steroid tests and appears safe at recommended doses. That said, we always need more research on long-term use. It's not stimulatory, so no jitters or anything. Quality is key. There are a lot of scammy products that don't contain what they claim. This is where it's not so great. Ecdysterone can be expensive, especially high-dose regimens. You get what you pay for. High-purity extracts cost more. For a serious lifter looking to stay natural yet get a possible extra edge, it might be worth the investment. We put ecdysterone in Tier A. The science-backed muscle gains and excellent safety profile make it one of the most promising new supplements out there. It's not as guaranteed as creatine or protein, and you still must train hard and eat well. But it could give you a noticeable boost. Call it Popeye's pick for those chasing that spinach-fueled strength. Let's talk turkesterone, the most hyped natty supplement of recent years. It's an ecdysteroid from the Ajuga tertestonica plant, often paired with ecdysterone. YouTuber Greg Doucette helped blow it up with his own product, Turk Builder Max, claiming it's one of the few on the market that actually contains legit turkesterone, around 10% extract, plus absorption boosters like black pepper and Capsorb. So, does it work? Some users report faster gains, better recovery, even body recomposition. But research in humans is still limited, and results vary. Some see major benefits, others feel nothing, often due to weak or underdosed products. Safety-wise, it's non-hormonal, no PCT needed, and side effects are minimal, mainly just the cost. Speaking of, it's pricey. Greg's product runs around $60 per month. I haven't tried it myself, but based on the current evidence and feedback, I'm placing turkesterone in Tier B. Could be a hidden gem or just a pricey maybe. If you've nailed the basics, it might be worth testing out. Let's throw it back to a 90s supplement classic, HMB, short for Beta-Hydroxy Beta-Methylbutyrate. It's a leucine metabolite that was once hyped as legal steroids. Bold claim, right? HMB's main benefit? It helps reduce muscle protein breakdown. For beginners or people returning after a long break, early studies showed some solid results. Faster gains and less soreness. It's even used in medical settings to prevent muscle loss during illness or calorie restriction. But here's the catch. If you're an experienced lifter, the benefits drop off hard. Most studies show that once your body's adapted to training, HMB doesn't add much, especially compared to staples like creatine or just getting enough protein. That said, HMB, especially the free acid form, might help reduce soreness after tough workouts, which could improve how often you train hard. It's safe, found naturally in small amounts in food, and typically dosed around 3 grams per day. Cost-wise, it's middle of the road. Not cheap, but not crazy either. Bottom line, HMB earns a Tier C. If you're a beginner, cutting weight, or bouncing back after a break, it could give you a slight edge. But if you've been lifting consistently and already eat well, HMB won't move the needle much. Think of it as a muscle insurance policy, not a growth hack. Skinny guys, this one's for you. Mass gainer shakes. You've seen them, giant tubs with names like Super Mega Mass Triple XL, claiming over 1,200 calories per serving. But are they worth it? Mass gainers are basically high-calorie blends of protein and carbs, usually whey mixed with maltodextrin or often fast-digesting sugars. Some also toss in creatine or fats. If you're a so-called hard gainer who struggles to eat enough, these shakes can be a real cheat code. Drinking calories is way easier than chewing through piles of food, and they do help you gain weight, muscle, and possibly some fat, depending on how clean the formula is and how you use it. They're especially useful around workouts or before bed to keep you in a surplus. But watch the sugar content. Some of these are basically dessert in a scoop. And if you slam a full serving all at once, don't be surprised if your stomach protests. Pro tip, split it into 2 smaller shakes during the day. Cost-wise, they're not bad. When you break it down per calorie or gram of protein, it can be cheaper than Whole Foods. Still, if you're picky about ingredients, you can make your own at home. Whey, oats, peanut butter, banana, milk, done. I'm ranking mass gainers at Tier C. Why? Because they do work. They help you hit your calorie goals fast, but they're not tier A or S because whole foods or homemade shakes often offer better nutrition with fewer sugar bombs. Rise and shine, it's time to talk caffeine. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, or pills, this is the world's most popular performance enhancer. Caffeine boosts energy, focus, pain tolerance, and reduces how hard your workouts feel. That means more reps, more weight, longer runs, and even a slight fat-burning boost. It's one of the few proven supplements that works for both strength and endurance. No surprise, it's S tier. Used right, it's safe and cheap. Pre-workouts usually pack 150 to 300 milligrams, but even 100 milligrams can do the trick. Just don't overdo it. Too much can cause jitters, anxiety, or kill your sleep. And yes, it's mildly addictive. So if you quit cold turkey, expect a rough day or two. It's one of the most effective and affordable tools to boost your workouts. Use it smart and it will supercharge your training. Ever wonder why athletes chug beetroot juice before competition? It's not for the taste, it's for the nitrates. Your body converts them into nitric oxide, which boosts blood flow and endurance. Beetroot shots or nitrate supplements help you use oxygen more efficiently, delay fatigue, and even enhance your pump in the gym. Runners, cyclists, and CrossFitters swear by them. Lifters? You'll notice fuller muscles and maybe a few extra reps. Side effects? Mostly harmless. Maybe some pink pea or beet burps. Just skip the mouthwash before taking it. Seriously, it can block nitrate absorption. Cost-wise, beet shots aren't cheap but worth it for big sessions or race day. We're claiming them at Tier B, a legit, natural performance booster, especially if you're chasing endurance or insane pumps. Just watch out for the stains. Let's talk about L-Arginine, once the king of pre-workouts. It's a direct precursor to nitric oxide, so you'd think it'd give you crazy pumps, right? Not quite. Turns out arginine gets broken down before it even hits your bloodstream. That's called first-pass metabolism, and it means most of it never makes it to your muscles. Studies showed weak results for blood flow, endurance, and performance. Even worse, high doses can mess with your stomach. Think cramps and diarrhea. Not great mid-leg day. That's why Citrulline Malate replaced it. Citrulline actually raises blood arginine levels better than arginine itself. It's like arginine's cooler, more effective cousin. Arginine still has medical uses, but for workouts, it's outdated. It's Tier D. Safe, but not worth your money. Skip it and go straight to citrulline or beetroot for real results. Collagen is everywhere. Powders, bars, even in your coffee. But does it help with fitness? Collagen is a protein, but it's not like whey. It's incomplete, missing key amino acids like leucine, which makes it less effective for building muscle. So if you're using collagen as your main protein, you're probably leaving gains on the table. But collagen does have a role. It's a key part of connective tissue, your tendons, ligaments, and joints. Some studies show that taking collagen with vitamin C about an hour before training may help support tendon repair and joint health. It's not magic, but over time, lifters with joint issues have reported feeling better. Bonus, it might help with skin, hair, and nails too. No shame in wanting to look good in and out of the gym. Safety, it's very safe. Just watch the source if you have allergies. Some come from fish or eggs. Price, not the cheapest, but manageable. We're putting collagen in Tier C. It won't build muscle like whey, but it's great for long-term joint support, especially if you're older or coming off an injury. Pro tip, take it with vitamin C to boost its benefits. Think of collagen as armor for your joints. Not a muscle builder, but a support crew for your body. If you've been lifting heavy for a while, you already know. Healthy joints are everything. One bad shoulder or cranky knee can stall your progress fast. That's where joint support supplements like glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM come in. They're not for muscle growth, but to keep your joints moving smoothly. The research is mixed. Some studies show less pain and better joint function, especially in people with wear and tear. Others show minimal results, but many lifters swear by them, especially as they get older or deal with chronic joint stress. MSM, a natural anti-inflammatory, may also help reduce discomfort and stiffness. Don't expect overnight results. These take 4 to 8 weeks to kick in, and they work better for those already feeling aches, not necessarily young, pain-free lifters. It's generally safe, but avoid shellfish-based glucosamine if you're allergic. And it's reasonable, especially compared to dealing with actual injuries. We're putting joint support supplements in Tier C. If you're young and pain-free, skip them. But if you've got mileage on your joints or past injuries, they're smart long-term insurance. Think of it as greasing the gears. Not flashy, but it keeps you lifting pain-free for years to come. Here's one of the most underrated performance hacks hiding in your kitchen: baking soda. Yep, sodium bicarbonate. The same stuff you bake cookies with is a powerful performance booster. Here's how it works. Baking soda acts as a buffer. It raises your blood's pH levels, helping neutralize the burn from lactic acid during high-intensity workouts. We're talking 30 seconds to 5 minutes of all-out effort, perfect for sprinters, crossfitters, or anyone pushing hard in circuits. Studies show it can help you squeeze out more reps, sprint faster, and hold intensity longer. Think of it like Beta-Alanine's big brother, but working in your blood instead of your muscle cells. So what's the catch? Digestive issues. Taking too much too fast can lead to stomach pain, bloating, or worse. To avoid this, split your dose, take it with water, or try enteric-coated capsules. It's super cheap, literally pennies per serving, and effective if used right. That's why we rank it in Tier B. It's not for everyone, but if you do intense training, this might just be your new secret weapon. Just test it on a regular training day before any big event. Trust me on that one. Still with me at the end? You're the type who does your homework, and that already puts you in S tier on the road to your fitness goals. If you want to learn what are the best and worst exercises for each muscle group, make sure to watch the next video.